Hello and welcome to Squabble, a noisy quarrel about something petty or trivial. It's me, Carter.
And it's also me, Jacob.
And this is our podcast. Welcome.
Yes,
it's a podcast where we talk about things. Usually
things
we
things.
disagree on.
Two sides of the same thing.
Right.
I should say, rather.
But today, we're not disagreeing with, well, I guess we are going to disagree with each other, but we're not taking our own side. We are taking someone else's side.
Yes, we're taking the side of unpopular opinions, pretty much.
We are taking the villain's side.
Yes.
That's right. This episode is villains that should be good guys.
Yes.
Right? Or characters in movies, etc., pop culture that are considered bad guys.
But they should be good.
But they should be good guys.
Yes.
They should be considered good guys. And I think this is going to be a really interesting one.
I would agree.
I think
I can agree to that.
some people you consider bad guys
Are
aren't
great
really
people.
bad guys at all. They're either misunderstood or
Classic.
you just I don't know. They're either misunderstood or it's the movie's from someone else's point of view. So
Yes.
so you might think that they're bad, but really you don't know their side of the story. Things like that. And so it might get pretty intense.
Yeah, maybe.
Your life
We'll
might
see.
be changed.
Oh, mine or the viewers?
Both.
Ah,
Mine too, maybe.
everyone's life will be changed after this.
And I'm drinking out of a Chick-fil-A cup. Chick-fil-A, not a sponsor.
I
but
also
they do have good tea.
My throat is a little sore, so if I sound weird or if I cough, well, you know why. Mm-hmm. Just some disclaimers.
We also released our first perspectives the other day. It's a short series where we just it's like a scripted shorter episode where we like tell a story on one-sided or a point of view, one of our points of view.
Yeah.
And we got pretty good feedback. So that's good.
I think
we'll definitely do more.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And I mean, the first one was a little rough.
Yeah.
I understand. But
We're getting there.
you have to start somewhere.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Precisely.
So you want to get into this?
You want to go? Yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. How about
Okay,
that?
you can go first. Yeah.
Okay. This series this is a TV show. I picked a character from a TV show, and this TV show has actually gotten a lot of flack recently.
Yeah.
It's in the media recently.
Yes.
Because its main character has decided to leave the show. Now, I am proposing that they replace this main character
I
with
didn't
the
know
villain
this.
of the show,
You're being very discreet about all this. You just want to give it away?
The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Have you
there
heard of
is.
it?
No. Yes. We
so
watch
the-
it together.
Yeah. So The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes, the main character, has announced he's leaving the show
Yes.
recently. It was in this past week,
Yeah.
I think.
A past couple of weeks. Yeah.
Well, he's the good guy, right? He's the well. What about the antagonist, the bad
Yeah.
guy, Negan? Okay,
Yes.
everyone thinks he's a bad guy. He's a bad
Yeah.
guy, and he just recently. Did he die? He didn't die.
No,
he
he
just
didn't die.
recently.
Just
was,
spoiler warning for every
Yeah.
movie we're going to talk about.
Spoilers. So spoilers for Walking Dead right now.
Yeah.
Well, Negan should be the new main character because he's actually a good guy.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
I actually kind of agree with you on this one right off the
Yeah,
bat.
we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
And you, viewer, might be thinking, "Oh my gosh, really?"
I'll be the viewer.
Okay.
What? He killed people. But he killed people, Carter. He killed
Carl.
He killed people.
That's true.
Yeah.
However, so did Rick. And
But Rick's was justified, Carter.
Here's-
Rick's the good guy.
you just gotta stop. Let me tell you why I believe Negan is a good guy. So, first of all, whenever I say this, I say Negan's actually a good guy, well, the first thing whoever I'm talking to says, the first thing they say is, he murdered. Spoilers. He murdered Glenn and Abraham. He beat them to death with a baseball bat covered in barbed wire.
Yeah.
That is only an evil person could do that, right?
No, sure.
Well, I retaliate by saying Negan was just defending himself. Now you're probably saying he had him all tied up. Well, if you remember, just before Negan killed Glenn and Abraham,
in fact, the whole reason that Negan had even heard of Rick's
the only reason Negan is attacking Rick is because he's retaliating from Rick's attack. Because just before this, Rick and his group murdered over 100 of Negan's men, slit their throats in their sleep.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Now, that is arguably more brutal than killing 2 guys with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
I mean, and Negan being Negan, I mean, that's pretty generous considering, I mean, Negan in the zombie apocalypse, in any kind of scenario like this, our human instinct is to survive, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, everybody will do anything they have to survive. And so in the zombie apocalypse, Rick will do anything to survive, and we're cheering for Rick because the whole show's from his point of view. But Negan is also just trying to do what it takes to survive.
That is also true.
So Rick's group comes in, kills 100 of Negan's people, 100 of his men, and then Negan comes, captures him, and kills 2 of Rick's guys.
Yeah, just 2.
That's pretty generous.
Actually, he was only going to kill 1, but then they broke the rules.
Negan was only going to kill one guy to Rick's 100 guys.
Yeah.
Rick murders 100 guys. Negan murders 2 guys. Who's worse, right?
Yeah.
I would argue that.
You want me to?
Yeah. Sure,
I will. This is not for just this. I do agree with you for most of this that Negan's not as bad as people say,
right,
or think,
as he's made out to be.
Yeah. But I will say that there is, not for this specific scenario, I agree with you, but in general, the difference between Rick and Negan, I think, is the intentions. I think when it comes to this, deciding who's good and who's bad, isn't necessarily actions, but I think it's people's intentions. Because, I mean, especially, like, this is what a lot of people say, just do what you think is right, you know? So I don't think it's necessarily what you do, necessarily what that makes you a good person or a bad person, but it's what you think you're doing. Negan does not think he's being a great person.
I would.
He's laughing as he's killing them.
Let me tell you why. So, first of all, I forgot to start our timer to make sure we don't go.
Yeah, we'll
talk forever.
Yeah.
I disagreed because 2 things. One, Rick attacked Negan's group first. Negan's group was just chilling, okay, and Rick basically declared war on Negan when he killed in their sleep 100 of his men.
Well, I mean, Negan's done.
If you're in the zombie apocalypse, okay, you're just trying to survive. You're trying to protect your people.
Yeah.
Okay, and everyone also, I want to state this too. Everyone thinks Negan is just a cold-hearted killer. All he does is enslave people. But Negan's people have families and stuff. I mean, Rick murdered a guy and kidnapped his daughter.
Yeah, that is true.
He killed Negan's guy, and since Rick just killed the baby's parents, Rick took the baby name. and cared for it. I mean, Negan's people are just like Rick's group.
Yeah, I agree with you for most. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yeah, so Rick attacked Negan first. That's the first thing that I would say is wrong here, because usually the good guy is the one defending, right?
Yeah.
And who's defending in this scenario? Negan, right? Okay. And then we think Rick is the good guy because we see the whole show from his point of view.
Yeah.
But the things that Rick has done are arguably worse than the things
especially if you didn't get the context.
You want some examples?
Can I give an example?
Sure. Yeah, of
Rick
course.
Bit out a guy's throat.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Yeah.
But Rick literally bit a guy's throat out.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. I mean, but see the difference between like the guy that he didn't just go up to a random guy and bite his throat out for intimidation. The guy the guy was going to kill Rick's girlfriend and Rick's kid. And so he was bound up. He was about to kill him. He had to do something.
It was self-defense. He had to save his child. Well,
yeah, Negan's was self-defense too.
I mean, everything Negan does is to protect his people.
But
right?
I'd say Negan pushes the limits a little bit. Like I said, I think it comes down to intentions. I think Rick feels remorse. Obviously, he does. We've seen in the show. He feels remorse for his actions. Negan does not. Negan only feels remorse for when things go bad for him.
Like when Carl died, Negan genuinely
that
felt
is one
bad
time
about that.
because Negan liked Rick, or Negan liked Carl. I mean, but other than that, Negan doesn't.
Okay,
he never felt remorse.
How about this? I will argue against you. I will retaliate by saying neither does Rick. And Rick, if Rick is considered a bad guy or a good guy, Negan has to be considered a good guy as well. That's my premise.
Okay,
because
I would actually agree to
here's
that.
This. Remember the cannibals in the earlier seasons? Gareth, he's a cannibal. They like put up signs, and then when the people come to their town, they're like, oh yeah, we're all good, we're happy, this is a great town to live. But then while they're sleeping, they eat the people.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my goodness, that's...
They're cannibals.
Yeah, they're cannibals. Well, Rick destroyed that whole civilization.
He did.
Yeah, and that's good. They were bad guys, right? I mean, they ate people. We're going to say those are bad guys. Well, one of the guys, Gareth, he was like kind of the leader of that group, had been hunting Rick down for a long time. And
they get in a fight, right?
Yeah. They get in a fight, and Rick captures him. He gets away with his guns. He disarms him, and Gareth is sitting on his knees, and he's like, okay, I surrender. I give up. He surrenders. He puts his hands up.
He loses
throws
hope.
the white flag down. And you know what Rick does? Rick hacks him with a machete.
Yeah, multiple times.
He just like, and it's not like he doesn't aim for the head. He doesn't like hit him in the head and then he's dead. Rick just over and over hacks the guy painfully into pieces with a machete. And that right there is almost more evil than anything Negan's done.
But you can find the scene after he does that. He like breaks into tears and falls apart. He's an emotional wreck.
No, he does not.
Yeah, he does.
Not. No.
He's all silent. He like looks around. He's all like, oh, "What have I done?"
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. I think I remember.
No, he doesn't.
That was a long time ago.
He feels no remorse.
I would argue against that.
Well, it's just not true. Also, Rick's kill count 42.
Oh, yeah.
Negan's kill count 47. That's only a 5 kill difference.
Yeah, that's true.
In the whole series, Negan, the bad guy, has only killed 5 more people than Rick, the good guy.
But Negan's been in the show for 2 seasons, and Rick's been in the show for 8. And his kill count is higher. You got to look at it for how long they've been in the show.
That's true, okay.
If Negan's is 47 in 2 seasons, if you give him the same amount of seasons that Rick has, he'd be in like the 200s of kills.
Okay, how about this? Another thing that Negan is considered a bad guy for is because he takes over other civilizations, right? Like that's what he does.
Yeah.
They're the saviors. They save people. That's their whole motto. They go into people's civilizations, they take over leadership, and they basically drain them of supplies. And then that place becomes Negan's.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, that's terrible. Leave them be. Let everyone live in peace. Don't invade other people's stuff and steal all their stuff and become their leader. Every single civilization, any kind of group that Rick has come in contact with,
ends up dying.
Either is completely destroyed or Rick takes over.
That's 100% true.
I'm not even going to
try to refute that one.
Is that not true?
Even the civilizations that Rick likes, like Alexandria, takes that over, kills all the leaders.
And when Rick goes to Alexandria, he becomes like a freak. He goes crazy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And ends up taking over.
Yeah.
And nobody wants him there either. Everyone's like, Rick, you can't take over. We hate you, Rick. But you know what Rick does? He still takes over.
Yep.
So who's the bad guy? Now, I'm not... Okay, let me restate my premise here. Is Negan a good guy? Yes, if you consider Rick a good guy...
You're just saying you don't want to have a double standard.
You can't have a double standard. If Rick is a good guy, which he is considered by most to be a good guy, you have to consider Negan a good guy too. Because of my points being... You have to do what you have to do to survive. And Rick would say the same thing, to survive and to protect your group, which Negan is doing. That's really all Negan is doing, right? Yeah. He just puts, and Rick even says in the series, you got to put your own people before
everything else.
So sure, Negan drains supplies from other civilizations.
Yeah.
However, he's putting his people first.
He has the same
and
moral
Rick
standard.
would do the same thing.
Yes.
So
that wraps it
that's
up
my
for
argument.
Negan.
For Negan.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree. I agree with you for that one. I think we might have changed some minds. Yeah. You want to hear mine?
Yeah, hit me.
Mine is the robots from The Matrix. Really just all the robots, basically.
Okay.
I guess you could say Agent Smith, but he's just a robot. He's like the head robot. Yeah.
Sure.
So you've got all the robots in The Matrix. This is pretty much what happens in The Matrix.
Okay, give me a recap.
we make some robots. Obviously, it's pretty much classic from the beginning. We make robots. They get too smart, as they do in every movie, and they revolt. They pretty much what they see is they see that the humans are inherently evil and they need to die. Okay. So that's pretty much what they think, which makes sense. Humans are inherently evil. We are bad people.
Yeah.
So the robots try to, they do what they think is right once again. So to get to defend ourselves, I believe in the Matrix they're like solar powered. So we block out the sun pretty much, right? I read a Wikipedia article. Yeah. So anyways, we do things to try to fight back to the robots. They're all underground, all the humans. You've seen the movie. Let's be real. So anyways, we fight the robots, and you know what the robots do as supposedly revenge, quote unquote? They make a perfect world for us. Albeit it's not real, but it's perfect. They make the perfect world. And let's be real. If you didn't know it wasn't real, even if you did know, what would that change?
I mean,
it's perfect.
What makes it real?
Exactly. Yeah. Everything about it is real, except for the fact that it's in their minds. But everything is real.
In your mind?
Yeah, everything. Exactly. So why do we see the robots as bad guys when first of all, we made them, so it's our fault to begin with. B, they're right, and robots are technically right in their vision, where every bad thing in the world comes from humans. Just think about it. Every bad thing that's ever happened on Earth has come from humans.
Okay.
So just looking at it logically, that's true. Eliminate all humans, eliminate all bad things. Number 3, there's someone called revenge. Their bad plan that makes them evil is to make us a perfect world that we don't know we're in.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Do you have any sort of retaliation?
Yeah. So, I mean, they are, okay. So the humans did create them.
Yeah. So it's our own fault.
However, I think that there are bad guys still because they can't, I guess they can think for themselves, right?
But I don't know if they're sentient.
Their thoughts are artificial.
Yeah.
So,
they come from just.
So
facts.
I would argue that you can't be a bad guy, nor can you be a good guy, unless you have an organic mind.
I don't know. I think they are I think they've become sentient at this point. At least like some of them, Agent Smith, like the higher up level ones.
But there are programs to do it, right?
But what if they get programmed to
they don't
think
know
outside
any
of their program? They get programmed to program themselves into thinking anything they want.
That's just a loophole of unending programming.
I suppose. But I think that makes, I guess the point isn't if they're good guys, is it? It's if they're bad guys, right? Or if they're not bad guys.
If they're not bad guys.
And you just agreed with me, they're not bad guys. And even if we take out the robot part, like, they can't be bad because they're robots. Even if you take out the robot part and they were actual people or like aliens instead of robots, I still think they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be bad.
I would say that they are. I mean, at least they didn't murder the entire human race.
Yes, they made us a perfect world.
Because it could have been worse. But I mean, they didn't really make us a perfect
no world hunger.
Yeah,
it was perfect. There was like no crime or something. There was it was all perfect.
Yeah, but it's not perfect. They took away our free will.
That's pretty not evil. In that world.
But in the real world, I mean, technically, yeah, in that world, because we can't do anything outside their limitations.
I suppose.
So that's
but why is free will? Is free will? I was say free will a good thing? No, but let's be real. I mean, it's perfect though. Is free will a small price to pay for no
death? That you're asking hard questions.
Yeah, let's be real. You don't get to make your own choices, but millions of people are living the dream life.
But the robots are forcing you to trust them.
So you don't trust them? They've got the perfect world. It's been working for who knows how long.
I don't trust them. What if what if they mess up?
What if they mess up?
Yeah, the world could instantly crash. What if they decide?
Then they just reboot.
What if they decide
we just sit in our little tubes for a little bit.
What if they decide they're done? They don't want to take care of our little tiny selves that are there. What did we get? They got us in like pods, right?
Yeah.
They take the humans and they put them in little pods. What if they decide they're done, and then they can pull the plug on it all?
They wouldn't.
On life support.
I guess that's true, but that's just hypothetical. From what they're doing, it is not. I don't think it's evil.
I think it is an evil act to A, deprive someone of their free will, and 2, enslave. I guess force them to trust.
So you wouldn't. You're saying that you wouldn't do that to let everybody else in the world live a perfect life?
That is a hard question.
Yeah. I mean, I'd do it if I just had to sit in a pod all day for the rest of my life, so that everyone else.
But you wouldn't
there'd
know
be no
it.
world
You
hunger.
wouldn't know.
Yeah, obviously I wouldn't even know, and I'd also be living in the perfect world.
Okay, I mean, I definitely see where you're going. I don't know if I 100%
Okay,
agree,
yeah,
but you do.
That's kind of a.
You do drive a hard.
That's kind of like
argument.
that's kind of like a cold-hearted one to say, but it's whatever.
You want me to give you my next one?
Yeah, we'll move on to the next one.
Okay. So we got Negan, robots, arguably good guys. And I'm going. Those are pretty serious.
Yeah.
Those are for the serious guys, the people who are like super nerds, and they're probably arguing along with us.
Yeah, probably. And like we didn't know. I haven't seen The Matrix in a long time. That was all from like Wikipedia.
This next one,
I'm
though,
not an expert.
This next one, though, I think everybody can kind of get on board with. Okay. Hans from Frozen. Yeah. Now bear with me here. I think he's a good guy. Because he had bad intentions, sure, but everything he did did more good than harm. For example, so he comes in and he like pretends to fall in love with Anna or whatever, and his plan is to take over the entire kingdom. That's his plan. He's gonna fall in love with the princess. She's gonna marry him, and then he's gonna kill her, and boom,
he'll be the king.
Take over the whole kingdom, and there's king.
Yeah.
Pretty solid plan, right?
Yeah, I'm down.
Well, the things that he does to get to the become king part are not like that's the him wanting to fake marry her is okay. Actually, let me start with this. There's two things he does that are quote unquote evil that make him a bad guy.
Yeah.
There's two things. He wants to fake fall in love with her to take over the kingdom. He's power hungry.
Well,
okay.
He also was going to kill Elsa.
That's my second thing.
Okay, yeah.
And attempted murder.
Yes.
Those are his two things.
Attempted murder.
Yeah. And it's not that bad. I'm just kidding. However, through this process of him, first of all, the attempted murder wasn't even planned. He didn't even. His only plan.
No, he was eventually going to kill Anna and Elsa. So once he got to be king, he doesn't need them anymore.
I don't think he was going to kill him.
I don't know. I think he was.
He only wanted to be king by marrying her, and then boom, he was king pretty much. And then probably wouldn't even care about her. So that's the only thing That's the only intention. Yeah.
Who used the entire kingdom?
No, just the princess.
And lied to them.
However, here's what he does as he's getting to that point. Through the process of trying to fall in love or trying to get her to fall in love with him and becoming king, he hands out blankets to the city because it's cold.
Yeah.
Is that evil?
No, I wouldn't say so.
He provides fires for the citizens.
Arsony.
He puts more guards on duty to protect the city.
Yeah.
And then he
tried to kill Elsa twice. I'd like to clarify that.
Well, what's the first time?
Remember him and all of his friends go to the castle to like retrieve her, and then they find her with the ice powers, and then they try to kill her. Remember that? I guess his intention at first wasn't to kill her, but once he gets there, then he says to kill him.
That's excusable though, because he was just scared.
Okay,
you know.
Yeah. Okay.
You've never seen anything like that. And then you might be thinking, well, he killed Anna, or he tried to kill Anna, because in the movie she gets blasted by her sister, and she's got like some ice disease now or something, and she's about to die if she doesn't get true love's kiss. That's a thing. Well, she comes back to Hans and she's like, Hans, kiss me. And Hans is like, no, you can just die right here. I'm going to leave. And he leaves. Mm-hmm. And you're like, wow, that's terrible, Hans.
Yeah.
However, even if he did kiss her, it wouldn't have worked because Hans isn't her true love. So what did he really do that was bad?
Wait, something just clicked. This is completely off topic. It's about the Frozen movie, but there's a plot hole. Okay, if the whole thing was true love, and we even find that's the end, it doesn't have to be true love between like romantic love, because it ends up being Anna and Elsa that her true love breaks it. Yeah, couldn't Olaf had done it, because he was locked in the room with her? Couldn't he have kissed her?
Love?
Yeah, well, not like on the lips, but you know, I mean, Elsa didn't kiss Anna when she was frozen; they just hugged. It was just true love in general. Couldn't Olaf when he hugged her?
Any kind of love.
Yeah,
because there's three types of love.
Does that mean Olaf doesn't love Anna? He's a fake friend.
Well, I think he's not. He's not
human.
He's not real.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, he's just programmed by the ice.
Or they
powers.
don't love each other and they're faking it.
Yeah, maybe he's not smart enough to understand love.
Oh yeah, that could be it. Okay, we can go back. I just had to point out that plot hole.
Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so
So he couldn't save her if he wanted to.
Yeah, even if he did want to save her, he couldn't have. So what was really bad about that, right?
Okay. Okay, he tricked her into thinking that he loved her.
Yeah, that's the one thing he did bad. And then the other things, okay,
he did kill someone.
He did try to kill someone twice, but that's not as bad. The good things weigh out the bad things is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I'll say, but once again, that's like what I said earlier. It's intentions. He meant to be evil. He knew what he was doing.
However, he was bad at it, and that is why.
I still think that makes him evil. I think the thing that separates a good, well, my next.
That's not true. Because what if I'm like
this rule that I'm just saying? Remember it, because my next person
goes completely against that.
Yeah, kind of goes against that.
Well, because what if I say, I'm a terrible person, or like, what if I'm evil, quote unquote?
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example because, like, I could be evil and like hand out blankets because in my mind blankets are so evil, but then everyone's like really happy. So am I evil? Even though
but if your intentions were to like
hand
out super flammable blankets to everyone and then eventually go and set them all on fire, but then you got thwarted before you set them on fire, so now everybody gets blankets.
Okay, how about this?
That was still a good thing, but I still think that makes you a bad person because you were going to do something bad.
How about this? There's a bunch of there's a bunch of vegans, okay?
Yeah,
and
already evil.
Yeah, and I'm evil, so I'm going to give them all ice cream, right? So I get a bunch of ice cream cones and I hand them all out, but it turns out they're not vegans, they're vegetarians, so they eat the ice cream and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Is that evil because I was trying to be mean, but really I made everyone happy? So am I evil? Was that an evil act?
No. Well, first off, I don't think it would be evil. I think it would be really mean. I don't think you'd be inherently evil if you gave ice cream to.
It's a small example.
Okay, maybe if you knew they were going to die from it, like if you gave them, you knew they were deathly allergic to ice cream.
Okay, I think just take the example. It's a small example. Okay, was that a bad act?
Yeah, I think that was.
Was that an act of treachery?
Yeah, I think it was mean.
So
I think it was a bad thing to do.
But I made everyone happy.
But it was still a bad thing to do.
Huh. Okay. Well. Maybe Hans isn't that great.
Okay, you ready for my next one?
Sure.
My next one is Sharpay from High School Musical 1, 2, and 3. I'll mostly be talking about the first one though. If you haven't seen High School Musical, Sharpay is the antagonist. She is the classic like high school like mean girl.
She's the drama queen.
Yeah. So pretty much, this is not only that she is a good person, but this is specifically, well, I guess not specifically, but even also that Troy and Gabriella are the bad ones.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
See, this kind of goes against my whole like intentions thing because I think Sharpay kind of knows she was being a jerk, but still.
I think I know where you're going with this, and I disagree as of right now. That I don't think she was trying to be mean.
Okay, listen. This is what happens. Sharpay and he's her brother, right? Ryan?
Yeah.
The gay guy? I don't know if probably.
Is he gay?
I don't know.
I don't think
they explored that.
I don't think he's confirmed gay.
No.
In the Disney movie.
Maybe. We don't know. Anyways, her and her brother, they've been in the theater group at their school forever. They'd always gotten the lead roles. They were really good at it. That was their thing. Uh-huh. And they'd worked hard for it. This isn't like it was just like their life. Yeah, they worked hard for it. This was all they did. And then all of a sudden, the math girl and the basketball guy, not to mention the basketball guy doesn't even want to do it. That's Troy. He comes in reluctant to do it, not grateful for it. They come in, sing a little song, not even at the audition. They miss the auditions. They break the rules, come in, not even really wanting to do it, sing when they didn't even think they were being auditioned. And then the audition lady, the head of the drama department or whatever, gives them the main roles. And of course she's going to be salty about it. She's worked super hard. They come in, don't even make it to auditions. Be
salty about it, you mean?
Yeah, Sharpay is going to be upset about it. They don't even come to auditions. And they get the lead role.
I would 100%.
I mean, we do theater. Agree. You know how lame that would be.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Troy and Gabriella, they broke the rules.
They were ungrateful for their roles.
They didn't really
work for it at all.
Yeah, they didn't practice for the role or anything. While then you have over here someone who
worked hard,
has done it,
is
all
familiar
the time.
with it, put in the time, the effort, and they just get run over by Troy and Gabriella. Then, also, can I point out in the third movie how much of a brat Gabriella is? Because Troy is going to get a full scholarship for basketball to a college, and she's upset because he's not spending enough time with her. Like, get over yourself. He's gonna become a professional basketball player, and you're complaining because he's not spending enough time with you.
And he's kind of short. It's kind of impossible.
That is true. Zac Efron's a short dude, but still, he's a jerk. She's a brat. Sharpay works hard for what she has. And can we also point out the time when Troy breaks his promise to Sharpay too? Remember in the third one? I think it's the third one. It might be the second one. I don't really remember. But in the second one, I think actually, he promises to do a duet with her or something if she does something for him. And so she does it for him. And then when it comes for his part of the bargain, he goes to do the duet and he doesn't even do it. He just kind of stands there on stage.
He doesn't even do it?
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh, okay, gosh. You ruined it. But yeah, anyways, see, she's the one that is the victim. Troy and Gabriella are just brats that are entitled and spoiled and don't know how to do work.
I would agree, because I also want to point out everybody hates what's her face? Sharpay. Everyone hates her.
Why did they hate her?
Why?
I mean, she's kind of
it's because
bratty,
she gets the main role all the time because she's the best.
So she's good. Everyone hates the best. If you're see, this is if people like you, then you're probably not good.
No. If people hate you, you're good at what
you're doing. You're doing good. Keep
Everybody
it up.
In the school.
If people don't like it, if people don't like you, keep up what you're doing.
Yeah. Well,
most of the time. Actually, I just take all that back.
Yeah, I take it back too.
If people are jealous of you, you're doing it right.
What I was going to say is the reason everyone hates Sharpay is because they're jealous of how successful she is in the drama department.
Yeah. So, and Troy and Gabriella, they didn't even go to auditions.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And she has every right to be mean and try to be mean to them. I stand by that.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Especially since we are in theater.
Yes.
And I can imagine, like, if I went to auditions and did really good, and I was obviously the best one there,
and then
but then some other people came in on accident after auditions and got the role, I'd be kind of upset. Yeah,
me too.
I would not be into that, and I probably would not like those people who got the role for the rest.
Not to mention, I think I don't really remember the third one very well. Like I said, I keep referencing. I get the third one, the second one confused. Anyways, more things happen to her. Like, she gets the main role, but then like the understudy does it for her. There's lots of bad things happen to her. She's the victim.
You want me to do my third one?
Yes.
He's big. He's badder. It's Bowser from Mario. Yeah.
He's bigger and he's big and badder, or bigger and
he's badder. I was quoting The Incredibles.
Okay, yeah.
He's bigger. He's badder. It's
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's too much for Mr. Incredible. And then you're okay.
And then
I was gonna put Syndrome on the list, but he's a good villain.
Yeah, he's perfect balance.
Yeah. Anyway, Bowser from Mario. He's the victim here.
I don't know about this one.
Let me give you one. First of all, Peach would be lucky to have a guy like Bowser.
Yeah, who kidnaps him.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me just give the good points here. Take Mario Odyssey, for example, new Mario game. Bowser, through the whole game, all Bowser is trying to do is gather supplies for the perfect wedding.
I played Mario Odyssey.
And you know what Mario's doing?
But wait, can I point out that for the wedding that he's having, he kidnapped her for it?
Put that aside and listen to what I'm saying.
I mean, he is putting together a good wedding.
He's putting together
it was against her will. Wedding. I thought you were Mr. Free Will over there for the Matrix.
Well, just listen, okay, before you start jumping on my back. Good grief. He is putting together the perfect wedding. Mm-hmm. And you know what Mario's doing? Nothing. Mario hasn't even planned a wedding.
Yeah,
he's wearing freaking overalls through the whole thing. He gets married in overalls. Mario is a plumber. Bowser is a king.
That is true. And Bowser has a castle.
And Peach wants to marry the plumber? I think not.
Well, she does.
And also, that's my second. Mario wears overalls the entire thing. Gets married through not even Mario Odyssey. Every game, every time they've had a wedding. Which is a lot. Apparently, Peach changes her mind a lot, okay?
Yeah.
But has never even considered Bowser, who is groveling at her feet for her love.
Yeah.
And Peach just discards him and marries a plumber, okay?
Yeah. I would agree that Bowser is a good guy until he starts the kidnapping.
Well,
that's when the line, I think, is drawn. And blowing up Mario's ships.
Good point. He is
also,
he
not to mention
kidnapping.
that you said Bowser the king. Well, Peach is already a princess, so that part doesn't matter so much.
technically, this is my other point.
Hey, that's another point. That would bring peace to the kingdoms.
Yeah, well, yes. So first of all, Peach is being selfish because in medieval times, when there were kings and queens and all that jazz, a lot of the time when they brought kingdoms together and stopped wars, was marrying a prince and a princess or a king and a princess, etc. They would marry two royal members and then boom, no war, everybody's happy.
Everything's fixed.
And usually when that happened, they would start making trading routes and combine their money and food, and all the citizens would be happier too. So Peach is selfish. She's a selfish brat.
Yeah.
And Bowser is just trying to bring peace to his kingdom.
That is true.
You know what else he's trying to do? You mentioned this, and I was trying to interrupt you, but you kept talking.
Okay.
As per usual. You said, he's kidnapping Peach. He's not kidnapping Peach. He's just trying to keep the family together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you heard that right. Bowser Jr. is Peach's kid, is Peach's son. Yeah, you might if
you don't think too much into that, because that could be very bad. That could just make Bowser an even worse person. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
You don't know what happened.
I could probably figure it out. That's all I'm gonna say.
If you have the same expression Jacob has on his face right now, it sounds like that. So in Mario Sunshine, the game, you find out that that Peach is Bowser Jr.'s mom, because Bowser Jr. calls Peach mom, and the whole reason that Bowser Jr. is painting the city and terrorizing Mario is because he's trying to get to his mom. He's trying to find his mom.
That's acceptable. So maybe Bowser Jr. is the good guy, not Bowser.
Well, Bowser Jr. is a good guy because he's a kid. Yeah. And I mean, you have to dismiss sometimes the actions of a child.
Especially when your dad is a bad person.
He is not a bad person. So yes, there's kidnapping involved, but that's pretty much it. Otherwise, Bowser
just kidnapping.
is an
kidnapping,
amazing
just attempted murder. It's nothing.
And Mario is is a fictional world, obviously, but since there's kings and queens, etc., it's kind of set in the medieval era, I would say.
But with plumbers.
But with pipes, with toiletry. So Bowser, and that actually happens in medieval times. Not that it's good, but it's normal for like one kingdom to attack another kingdom, obviously, and then take royal family members for their own. Yeah, like that's something that actually happens. That's not unusual.
That's not a good thing. Just because it happens a lot doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Obviously, but in that time, Peach's kingdom would probably be doing the same thing.
That's true.
In that era.
I'd agree.
I argue that Bowser, good guy. He's trying to keep his family together. Disagree. He's just trying to make the perfect wedding. He's trying to. He doesn't understand why Peach would pick a plumber over him.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's just sad. I feel bad.
Are you ready for the last time? We're running out of time, so you want to get this last one out of the way. Okay, this one's Thanos from Avengers: Infinity War. We really should put a spoiler warning for this because it's pretty new still, and it's such a big movie.
Spoiler warning for Mario too.
Spoiler warning for everything we've talked about, but especially.
We're like almost done with the episode.
Avengers
spoiler warnings.
Yes. Okay. If we look, even in the movie, he says this. The whole reason that Thanos' goal is to wipe out half of the entire universe. Obviously. Sounds like a terrible thing. Kill half of all living things.
Oh no, terrible.
Yeah. Until you consider this, it's worked. His whole goal is actually to bring balance to the universe and make his ultimate goal above killing half the universe is so that everyone will have a perfect life.
Yeah, everyone
he says that
can eat.
In this world, in the Marvel universe, there's overpopulation is happening since there's lots of universes, lots of things, lots of people. So
lots of planets.
On his planet, the same thing happened. It was overpopulation. They were running out of resources. So he did that on his planet, killed half of everybody. And he says now, a while, 30 years later or something.
No, I don't think he did it on his planet, did he?
Yeah. Huh. Or I don't know if he did it. Anyways, that happened on his planet. And now his planet's thriving. He says that the children there know nothing but full bellies and clear skies. They're eating fine. There's no attacks. They're the perfect world. So he's going to do that to the entire world. And my thing is, yes, he's got to kill half the universe, but that's a small price to pay for for eternal peace and eternal no starvation.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
in fact, the Avengers are bad for stopping it.
the only reason I would actually disagree is because if I were to say. Like if there was like 8 people and 4 of them, and when they were all starving, because they only got a little bit of food, but 4 people were like, I'm going to leave.
You volunteer?
Yeah, I'm going to volunteer to sacrifice myself so the other 4 people can eat. Acceptable. Totally acceptable. And then the other 4 people thrive. They're full bellied because the other 4 people sacrifice themselves. But they chose to do that. Now, if there were 8 people and they were all starving and a guy came in and shot 4 of them in the head.
Yeah. And
the other 4 people now had a lot of food because 4 of them died.
Yeah.
I would say that is wrong because
I wouldn't. I would say it's wrong, but I'd say it's a necessary evil. Because especially if after he kills them all, if they are always full, not just they're full for that one time.
Now,
if he kills them all and then for this foreseeable future, they're perfect.
I think I could agree with you about the necessary evil.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that makes him a bad person. Doing something that's bad because you have to, for more good to come later, I think that's acceptable.
Well, that's a touchy subject. Because yes, you are saving 4 people from starvation, but you're also murdering 4 people.
Okay, you think lying is bad? The Nazis, the people hiding the Jewish people in World War II were hiding. They lied to the Nazis.
Yeah, so is that lie bad? I know it's a necessary evil. I agree. I think there are necessary evils. That is a touchy subject, though.
I'd say obviously it's a tough situation. It's a tough call, but I think it is worth it. And Thanos is not as bad as he's made out to be. And even if you watch the Thanos, he has emotional depth. It's not like he's like, haha, I finally get to kill everybody. He like finishes it and he's crying and he's like, he sees himself as like a war hero, like a martyr.
He sacrifices his own daughter for the lives of many.
Yeah, he kills his own daughter.
That's what he thinks anyway.
Yeah, and possibly people he knows. I mean, he kills half the universe.
I mean, I would say...
He doesn't see it as something that is just like, oh, this is a good idea. He sees it as something, this is awful, but I have to do it. And that's why he's a good person, because intentions.
Okay. Wow,
I mean, if you watch the end of Infinity War, after it shows all the people dying, he's like sitting on a mountain watching the sunset. He's like crying. He's like torn up about it.
Yeah, he is. Well, that's true.
Yeah, I think Thanos is a very good person.
Now I have feels for Thanos. And
not to mention he wants to be a good father to his daughters. Yeah. Just like Bowser.
Just like Bowser. He wants to be a good father. He's just trying to keep the
family
good father,
together. Good husband.
I think we did something good here.
Something good. We did something, period.
I think we might have become the bad guys in this scenario, trying to justify other bad guys.
Yeah, they might. Everyone hate us now, the listeners.
I do still stand by everything I've said. Maybe not Hans.
I stand by most of the things I said. I'd have to watch again.
So, yeah, let us know if you think that the bad guys we came up with are really bad.
Yes.
Or if they're good.
Yeah,
or if there's any bad guys that you think are good and you want us to do another episode with more good guys or bad guys or good guys that should be bad guys.
Oh, we kind of did that. Troy and Gabriella.
Rick from Walking
Dead.
Mario is a bad guy. Did you know that?
Yeah.
His origin story is actually
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he was a circus guy. What are these called? I don't know.
Yeah,
he enslaved Donkey Kong basically.
And there's like in the first game ever, like before the Donkey Kong game, there's like a mini game on the Game Boy of him like whipping.
Yeah, he like whips Donkey Kong and makes him do funny tricks. Yeah. I mean, Mario's a bad guy. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Feel free to follow us on the Facebook and Instagram at Squabble Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Because it really helps us out.
It does.
You can also listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Thanks. I keep forgetting. I mean to put this in the script, but we have a Patreon as well.
Yes.
Go donate because if you do, we have t-shirts, mugs, early access to episodes, and
all sorts of things,
swaggy stuff like that. We'll put your name in the credits. You'll be glorified as the first person to donate $1 to Squabble. You'll be a hero, not a villain. Yeah, you'll be a hero, not a villain. You might be a villain, but we'll justify you. Yeah. And thanks for listening.
Yes. We will snap you later.
Well, you said it at the same time that time.
Yeah.